Hi, Dr. Janet Curcio Wilson here. Looking at our shadow. This is a black jaguar with a blue lotus blossoming below it. This is my attempt to draw my shadow, which I later learned is the totem animal for the Shipibo people of Peru. I studied there in 2023 with 4 shamans. And the interesting part is when we start talking about leaning into our grief and beginning the process of co-creation for regenesis of our world, to be able to breathe life back into our world and ourselves in wholeness and mindful consciousness, we first need to grieve deeply that which has affected us through our own personal origin stories. You know, that story you tell to everyone when you first meet them of who you are, your childhood wounds, the difficulties you've gone through. Well, in there lies something like this guy. And it's different for everyone. Mine happens to be a black jaguar, which awakens when I am really ticked off. And everyone has that side to themselves, the dark side to self. Carl Jung called it your shadow. And when you do shadow work, the attempt is to balance it with the harmonious blue lotus blossom, which is a symbol of Hinduism and Buddhism. Balance is the key for this. If you look at previous videos I've made with the Genesis triad, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life, especially in the tree of life, you'll see Blue Lady. And Blue Lady consciousness is the divine feminine. But remember, her mother was the Black Madonna, the darkness, the unknown. And many, many people, many of us, like to put our best foot forward and identify those characteristics of ourselves that are only lovely and wonderful. And that's a great thing. However, right behind that, it's a double-edged sword. Whatever strength you have, there's also a compendium of weaknesses that need to be addressed. And some of that is the unknown, that which you do not know about yourself. That's shadow work. It's exploratory. So I invite you to consider, if you'd like to engage in that, finding inspired learning coaching through the website inspiredlearningllc.net. And I'd be happy to do a 30-minute complimentary intake so that we might be able to get to the root of some of the difficulties in repeating your origin story again and again and again. If you feel like you're on a hamster wheel, this work is for you. So I take the best of my experience, having died when I was 8 years old and having gone into the great beyond, and I try to recreate that for you to teach you self-hypnosis. So join me, won't you? Thanks.